So I just kind of finished this trance track, or what kind of half passes as a trance track, and I was going to just go over mastering for very stereo heavy music, in contrast to techno and stuff like that, which I kind of specialize in. This is stuff that I don't really specialize in, but it's fun nonetheless. So basically you got this. See, it's very very stereo. So basically what I did there is I use a lot of the S1 imager on things I kind of want to have separate but wide at the same time. It's basically these are the two kind of wide instruments. You have the virus riff I did, and then this guy. It's just a good idea just to offset the symmetry and make it wide, so you got a really nice wide stereo image for your track, so it reaches. You kind of want to smear it throughout the room, but it's housey at the same time, so I guess this could be called trance house or whatever. Let's not argue about that, it's fucking retarded. I mean, basically I have a lot of sweeps. Bassline is layered, of course. You have your typical virus-y bassline, arpeggiated thing. And then I have the top part. It's just Sounds 1, just basic patch type thing. I'll tell you what it is. It's the saw bass one. I cheated. And yeah, this is it's all mixed, all pretty, and everything's sidechained, or what's passed off as sidechained. So now, oh, and lots of reverb. I like reverb. It's kind of like what they used back in the day for their reverb. I've yet to nail the formula, but I don't know. So what I always do is I use the SSL comp just to kind of smooth everything together. You want the needle to dance. That's like the best advice you can get. Turn off analog. It's inactive on that part, but so first off it gives it a little bit of gain reduction, and it smooths it out, and it's really effective for giving you headroom. Now I'm going to not use that. Probably not going to use a whole lot of the exciter. I'm just going to do it on the mid-range. Going to give it a bit of excitement on the mid-range just to say I did it. Now I'm going to take a look at all the dynamics. I need I generally do this just to kind of clear it up. Not too much on that. I want little bits of reduction, like something you can barely hear, but altogether it really adds. I wouldn't worry too much about the high end for that. Stereo imaging, I wouldn't worry about too much about that. You always do your stereo kind of widening on each individual track, because you don't want everything to be wide. We can look at how wide. It's nice and wide. It's arena style, I guess. But yeah, you always do the imaging. You know, in some cases, yeah, you add a bit of wideness, but in my experience and in my humble opinion, you kind of do that in the mix using S1 and mid-side EQing and all that fun stuff. What we're gonna do is we're gonna just top off the top parts to where you can't really hear it, just because that's too much. Someone told me that they can actually hear the difference in that, and they say it sounds like MP3 compression. And I'm calling you out, you're full of shit. Anyway, yeah, what I do is I round off the bottoms with this guy before the compressor or the maximizer. And we'll see how much room we have. So we have a lot more room now if we take all these off. We're kind of clipping, but it's kind of impossible to clip in Ableton. But we're clipping. Well, not really clipping, but we're losing our dynamics. And what the SSL and all the multiband compression did is it gave us some dynamics, but still kept the overall feel of the track intact. And you're going for quality over loudness. But if you're going for loudness, just throw a couple other compressors on there. What I want to do is Q4. Just gonna give it some tits. It's a real term, I assure you. Can you hear the difference? Be afraid to move the EQ around a bit. Right about there is where I'd like it. And that's just me. It gives it a bit of you don't need to adjust the Q at all. And it gives it a bit the hi-hat a bit of fizzle, and the clap a bit of punch, and the kick too. But by all means, if it doesn't need it, don't use it. I'm just bringing the threshold down, and the automatic gain control is taking over, and the makeup is automatic, the gain is automatic, and the L2 is what I use. listen to the rest of the track. Generally, yeah, when you're listening to it, you listen to it quiet and you listen to it loud, but most of the time you're listening to it quiet for reasons being that, you know, if you turn it up and it sounds good, then that means the amplifier in your monitors, or, you know, all that fun stuff is making it kind of sound better, and it's just really counterproductive. It should sound good quiet, and you should always mix quiet and master quiet. But, you know, if you gotta raise up the volume, do that too. Who cares? But yeah, I'm gonna render this out, and